Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're diving into a really interesting source. It's an excerpt from an article called "The Principal's Uniform: Leading by Empathy and Example."
Yeah. And it's powerful because it really zooms in on like one single action, doesn't it? Our
Exactly.
mission today is basically to unpack that one gesture, understand what the article says it symbolized.
Right, because the story is about this principal, Reverend Fair Dr. Unegbu Francis, and he did something pretty surprising.
He wore the school uniform.
Yeah, right alongside the students. Seems simple on the surface, maybe. But the article makes it clear this act sent a really strong message.
And that's what jumps out straight away from the piece, I think. It wasn't just, putting on an outfit.
Yeah.
The article describes it as this potent symbol showing his dedication to, well, really understanding the students, connecting with them.
Okay, let's dig into that a bit. The article mentions it created waves of excitement and admiration. Why do you think that specific reaction happened, according to the source anyway?
Well, the article suggests it's because it sort of cut through the usual hierarchy.
Oh,
It was like this really vivid reminder that true leadership, it's not necessarily about being distant or elevated. It's about being relatable, accessible,
right.
by literally putting himself in their shoes, or, well, their uniform. The principal was showing a commitment, fostering an inclusive, supportive environment. That's the idea presented.
That idea of solidarity really comes through strongly in the text, doesn't it?
Definitely.
By sharing their clothes, basically it shows he's willing to sort of walk their path, acknowledge their day-to-day reality.
And bridge that gap,
Yeah.
the one that often exists between authority figures and, in this case, students.
Yeah, and the piece suggests that really resonated. It shifted how they saw him, maybe less like just the administrator and more.
Or like a mentor.
Yeah.
Or an ally, perhaps.
Exactly.
And that brings up a really crucial point about leadership, which the article touches on. Not just in schools, but anywhere. People look for inspiration, right? So seeing their leader embrace their world like that, well, the article says it fostered mutual respect, a sense of shared purpose.
It's quite an innovative way to connect, really.
It is.
And that connection, that bridging, that's what the article argues, created a more harmonious atmosphere overall.
Right.
It really underlines the idea that leadership is like fundamentally about service and connection, not just wielding power.
Exactly. The article sort of frames this gesture as a practical demonstration of empathy and leadership, showing, not just telling.
So ultimately, the article makes a pretty compelling case that leading by example, especially through these simple but kind of profound gestures.
They're wearing the uniform.
Yeah, like wearing the uniform is incredibly effective. It inspires loyalty, makes an impact, because it reinforces that the best leaders, maybe, are the ones who can genuinely relate to the people they lead.
So just pulling together the key points from this source then, Reverend Fr. Dr. Unegbu Francis, wearing that uniform, it was much more than just the outfit itself.
Clearly, it symbolized empathy, unity, a real commitment to understanding his students, connecting.
And the article really highlights how it showed solidarity, didn't it? Bridging that gap between his role and the student body.
Yeah, demonstrating that leadership is about service, being relatable, not just being in charge.
It underscores that whole idea. Lead by example. Simple gestures, profound impact, inspiring a shared sense of purpose.
So what this article really seems to suggest is that leaders who can genuinely relate, they're often the most effective. And seeing this specific example, a principal stepping into the student's world, it makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
What other ways, maybe creative or unexpected ways, could leaders step into the shoes of the people they serve? Something for you to maybe ponder in your own context.